up on AC 24/7, facing a divided Congress. President Joe Biden delivers his second State of the Union address. A look at the major themes as Biden faces a bold Republican Party. Plus, the death toll is in thousands in climate. The world's response to the deadly earthquake in Turkey and Syria. And the kid from Akron, Ohio makes history on the basketball court. Another memorable night in LeBron James' long NBA career. Hey there, welcome to AC 24/7. I'm your host, Lamar Baldwin. President Biden's State of the Union address came at a critical time in his presidency. He is pitching his agenda and previewing a potential 2024 re-election bid. The focus, defending democracy and promoting bipartisanship to a divided Congress. The Advocate Channel's Chris Wynn reports.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
For the first time in his presidency, Joe Biden stands before a Republican Speaker of the House to deliver his State of the Union address.
2 years ago, democracy faced its greatest threat since the Civil War, and today, though bruised, our democracy remains unbowed and unbroken.
The divided Congress setting the stage for contentious battles ahead.
Power for the sake of power, conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere.
The shadow of investigations into his White House's handling of classified documents hung over the speech. Biden and his team have denied any wrongdoing. Still, he made the case that he and his party are best positioned for 4 more years of leadership.
Jobs are coming back. Pride is coming back because choices we made in the last several years.
In the audience, Monterey Park shooting hero Brandon Tsai and the family of police brutality victim Tyree Nichols. The president returning to a major campaign theme as he argued for police reform and an assault weapons ban.
We all want the same thing. Neighborhoods free of violence. Law enforcement who earns the community's trust. Our children have a right to come home safely.
Newly elected Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders offering a sharp rebuttal to President Biden's message with the official Republican response.
In the radical left's America, Washington taxes you and lights your hard-earned money on fire. But you get crushed with high gas prices, empty grocery shelves, and our children are taught to hate one another.
In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
More than 11,000 people are now confirmed dead following Monday's magnitude 7.8 earthquake in Turkey and Syria. The president of Turkey visited an emergency relief center Wednesday. The drone video over that city shows collapsed buildings and rubble. Now survivors and rescuers are dealing with freezing weather and more than 100 aftershocks. NATO flags are flying at half-staff at the headquarters in Brussels. NATO says its allies and partners are helping coordinate seismic experts, search and rescue teams, firefighters, structural engineers, and medical personnel and supplies. Syria is not a NATO member, but Turkey has been a member of NATO since 1952. The work to recover fragments from the suspected Chinese spy balloon is continuing off the South Carolina coast. The Pentagon says the American military had an awareness gap and failed to detect 3 previous suspected Chinese spy balloons. The Advocate Channel's Shelley Malashi reports.
As the FBI analyzes what's left of a suspected Chinese spy balloon, a U.S. military report is raising questions about the United States' ability to track these balloons over American airspace.
We didn't think that the Chinese would be using balloons for this purpose.
These new pictures show the rush to collect debris after the balloon was shot down on Saturday off the coast of South Carolina. China, which has maintained that the balloon was a civilian weathercraft, is responding, saying what's left of the balloon and its payload belongs to them and not the U.S.
It's incredibly provocative. I mean, it's kind of a middle finger, frankly, to our diplomacy.
And we're learning new details about these kinds of balloons from a 2022 Air Force report, which found that over the last several years, China deployed multiple balloons that can fly as high as 328,000 feet and can circumnavigate the globe. A Pentagon official said the military had an awareness gap that led to failure to detect 3 Chinese balloons under President Donald Trump, including one in 2019, that the report says flew past Hawaii and across Florida undetected.
We have a lot to do in order to fill that gap. So whether it's radar coverage, intelligence coverage, and really a combination of both of those.
Meanwhile, House Republicans are considering a symbolic resolution to condemn China. As the so-called Gang of Eight, congressional leaders are expected to be briefed on the balloon by U.S. intelligence officials on Wednesday.
What were their motivations and what were they able to get and transmit back?
I'm Shelley Malashi reporting.
New documents show at least one officer involved in the beating of Tyree Nichols took and shared pictures of him. It's evidence of what authorities are calling blatantly unprofessional conduct of the 5 officers involved. The 5 officers are charged with second-degree murder, and according to disciplinary documents obtained by CNN affiliate VMC, all 5 of the officers fired and charged with Nichols' death failed to follow the department's body-worn camera policy. Nichols died days after he was beaten by Memphis police during a traffic stop. This week, the Memphis City Council unanimously voted to pass numerous public safety reforms in their first meeting since the Nichols incident. Lawmakers are focusing on airline passenger safety and the health of the nation's air travel infrastructure. Congress is considering reauthorization of the Federal Aviation Administration. The Advocate Channel's Ivan Rodriguez reports.
The aviation system is telling us something's wrong, and we need to listen.
Federal aviation officials on Capitol Hill Tuesday answering questions from lawmakers after 2 runway misses in 3 weeks in New York and Texas.
Southwest aboard. FedEx is on the go.
The panelists have legitimate concerns about predictability and agility of the FAA.
Funding for the FAA is up for reauthorization by Congress this year. The FAA says U.S. aviation continues to be the safest in the world, but they need more money for new technology, training, and hiring more pilots. Industry groups agree.
It takes constant improvement to get to be the best. It takes constant improvement to stay the best.
A major tool used to learn about aviation incidents and how to avoid them is the cockpit voice recorders. The National Transportation Safety Board told the committee that the voice recordings were unavailable from the near miss this weekend in Austin. Voice recorders in U.S. cockpits only hold 2 hours worth of data and continuously overwrite older data. The NTSB said they have continuously asked that the length be extended to 25 hours like European airlines.
And with this FAA reauthorization bill, we have an opportunity to remain the best, to constantly get better, to avoid complacency, and to make sure we never fall behind.
LeBron James is now the NBA's all-time scoring leader. It's a record that stood for nearly 40 years. He ended the night with 38,390 total points in his career. James passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's 1984 record on a fadeaway jumper against Oklahoma City Thunder. Abdul was invited on court with James' family and others to celebrate. James finished the night with 38 points. He said a lot of people wanted him to do a sky hook to break the record or one of his signature dunks, but the fadeaway is a signature move as well. The Advocate Channel is celebrating Black History Month. Today we want to spotlight actor, director, and activist Doug Spearman. Spearman is best known for his role on the hit LGBTQ+ show Noah's Ark and has made a name for himself in the entertainment industry. The actor has been honored with many awards, including an Image Award from the Jordan Rustin Coalition, as well as the Advocacy Award from the National Education Association's LGBTQ+ Caucus. Thank you for joining us for AC 24/7. For more content that advocates to you, go to advocatechannel.com and make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Lamont Baldwin.